So if we could, Mayor Sparks, thank you for allowing us to use your facilities here. And we'd just like to invite you up to say a few words.
Well, good morning to all of you and to those who join us in the chambers this morning. It's a pleasure to have you here. We're so grateful for your leadership and for shining yet another spotlight on the issues and the challenges of water in the San Joaquin Valley in California. As you all know, this is no longer just an agricultural versus environmental issue. This is certainly a municipal issue as our water supply here in the city of Fresno becomes increasingly challenged. So we appreciate your leadership, and to all of the participants who will speak and address you today, I'm grateful for their input and look forward to additional information coming forward. And thank you so much for your continued focus on this issue. Hope you have a very productive day.
And now I'll yield to my distinguished colleague, Congressman Rob Bishop of Utah, the ranking Republican member on the National Forest and Public Lands Subcommittee.
Hey, thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity of being here with all of you, and thank you for letting an out-of-stater come in here. Governments do not create ideas. Ideas create government. And one of the reasons I am here is to hear ideas from you. When obviously people are suffering, that is bad. That suffering is caused, whether intentional or not, by the government, or could easily be mitigated by government actions, and that does not take place. That is an intolerable situation, and this valley is in a difficult situation. I hope you will tell me what you think of the administration's efforts, their federal drought action team that has been in place a year, the action plan that has been recently announced. I hope you'll tell me your opinions of surface water needs and the efficacy of them, of legislative approaches like the Turning Pumps On Act, which Representative Nunes has introduced. I hope you'll tell me what you think of the Endangered Species Act, for there is indeed precedent in suspending that if there is a human need that's there. And there are those that will tell me that conservation and prioritization is the key solution here. If indeed, and this is why it's important for all of us outside of California, because you feed us. And if indeed you eventually decide that prioritization of what you grow is the important element, I just want to add for the record, I don't like cantaloupe, bell pepper, or spinach. So if you decide to prioritize, I hope that would help. The livelihood of tens of thousands of people is on the line here. We do not have the luxury to ignore this vast human problem. And I appreciate the opportunity of being here. I look forward to hearing from your comments. Thank you.
Well, thank Tom McClintock for putting this on, and especially Devin Nunes, who worked behind and just been a tremendous leader in this issue in Congress each and every day. Our ranking member, Rob Bishop, continues to fight for us and coming all the way out here to listen. And that's what we want to hear today. I will tell you something I don't appreciate is Washington refusing to listen. Once again, by rejecting our invitation to participate, to this administration is just business as usual. Providing lip service to the problems of this valley, giving hope, but providing no change. And I want to thank, coming up today, Fred Starr, farmer in Bakersfield, representing many of my constituents down there, the director of the Kern County Water Agency as well. The frustration that comes down to this is about jobs, the economy that we're seeing. You go along the highway, we see the signs, foods grow where water flows. Those signs could just as well say, jobs grow where waters flow. Over 25 million Californians and thousands of acres of farmland receive their water from the Sacramento, San Joaquin Hills region. In Kern County alone, agriculture production has an annual gross production value of over $4 billion. This is a vital part of our economy, but water shortages continue to threaten our county and contribute to our double-digit unemployment. The sad part is that there are solutions, but they are being ignored. My colleagues and I have introduced and continue to ask for votes on bills and amendments that will help fix this man-made drought. But these bills die because Nancy Pelosi and her Democrats will not allow even an up or down vote on the floor. That is why, again, I want to thank Devin Nunes. He introduced a discharge petition for Turn on the Pumps Act to force a vote for the important legislation. But I thank you for coming today. We want to listen to you, but we want to get the message out. It's unfortunate that the administration, even though we leave a seat for them, Mr. McClintock gave more than a 3-week notice, first of the year, that we would have this hearing. We no longer want lip service. We want change. Thank you.
Thank you, Tom. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to be here today and ask a few questions that we get blamed for something that we don't do. We get blamed for the pumps killing the fish, when the reality is totally different. What is killing the fish is those 389 million gallons they dump it into the delta, and they going by and checking the biological opinions and blaming the farming industry or our body for that. When we go and look delta, we go and see how big the delta is, and the little spot where the pumps are pumping, and we get blamed for that. When we go and see something, what happened in Haiti, that was a natural disaster. What happened here is created by our own representatives. Representatives, one day we elect representatives that should be working for us, working with us, or fighting for us, or defending us on the situations like what we're going through. When we go to the west side, when we go and talk to farmers, farm workers, and business people, that's a total disaster. Because some of these farmers, they've been in business for second and third generations. When we got farm workers that have been in the same farm for 10, 30, 20, even 40 years, and they end up without a job, they end up in the street. Because basically one day they came and told them they didn't have a house no more, they didn't have a job no more. And then they have to move to some other areas. They never think they're going to be going through this in their life. Some of these employers, when they go and see the farm workers, some of us, when we go see our farm workers, and we tell them there's nothing there. When we see some of the farm workers in the food lines, farm workers that we used to see picking cantaloupes, harvesting, I know, Rob said, like we have cantaloupe. But when we see our people working hard, people that really got pride, people that really work, they sweat out there, putting the food on the table for you, for me, for everybody in this country, and all of a sudden we have to see these people in the food lines. And it's pretty embarrassing to see some of those people, when they go to receive those food cans, so that food is coming from China. That's like a slap in the face. That, for our government, we always got all the respect. Our communities, we concentrate and work and produce. And fortunately, in the last 3 years, we've been really studying why we get blamed for something that we don't do. We're not infecting the delta, we're not killing the fish, and the pumps getting shut off because they're blaming the pumps, and they say that that's what is killing the delta's mouth. I think the reality is a lot bigger than that. When we went in field and we went to see those channels in the place where the water's hardly moving, you see that water bubbling in there. It's how infected it is. When you see Sacramento, Stockton, Tracy, and all those cities dumping their sewage into the delta, that's what is killing the fish. It's what our representatives should be looking at and seeing that this not the farm workers. I mean, we don't do anything but work. This is so simple. Our government should be looking out for us. And it's so simple, it's not going to cost a penny for them to turn the pumps on and work in the real issue, in the reality. They need to see that the real problem, is what they dumped into the delta. Not the farm workers or not the farmers. All we do is work. Thank you.